This excerpt delves into a broad conversation about the future face of the NBA, touching on the potential candidates to take over the mantle when current stars like LeBron James and Stephen Curry eventually retire. The text reflects a debate between American-born players and international players and their respective roles in the NBA's global identity. At the center of this conversation is Anthony Edwards, a young and promising star, who expresses disinterest in being the face of the NBA despite his clear potential. Edwards' perspective is intriguing because, while he acknowledges his capabilities to be a top player, he seems to reject the weight that comes with such a title. His mindset, as he says, is focused on simply showing up and doing his thing, rather than taking on the responsibilities and expectations tied to being the league's iconic figure. The key point here is Edwards' preference to stay hungry and maintain an underdog mentality, drawing parallels to how Michael Jordan used to manufacture slights to fuel his competitive fire. This approach can be understood as Edwards' way of staying focused and humble, avoiding the distractions that come with being a public face of the sport. Shannon Sharpe's commentary on Edwards touches on the notion that the underdog is often in a better mental position to excel, as it creates a certain chip on the shoulder. Edwards' reluctance to embrace the media spotlight contrasts with the usual trajectory of NBA stars who thrive on the pressure of being the league's main draw. However, Sharpe also highlights how other players, such as Kevin Durant, have expressed similar sentiments about not desiring the title of face of the league, but instead focusing on their craft. Durant's situation, especially with his off-court issues, is presented as an example of how the role of the face of the NBA isn't always consistent with the best players, but rather tied to external factors beyond just on-court performance. The idea of the next face of the NBA is further explored by looking at the legacy of past NBA legends like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James. Historically, these players have been American-born, and this raises the question of whether an international player could ever become the face of the NBA in the same way. While foreign-born stars like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic, and others are seen as potential candidates due to their immense talent, the text argues that there might be cultural and commercial challenges for them to gain the same popularity in the U.S. This view is based on the fact that basketball, as an American sport, may require its iconic figures to resonate most strongly within the country. The NBA's visibility in the United States is, in some ways, tied to the star's appeal to American fans. Moreover, there is an ongoing debate about the current international domination of the NBA's MVP race. With multiple recent MVPs being international players, the conversation shifts toward questioning whether the league is ready for an international face in terms of broad cultural relevance. While it's clear that international players have brought immense skill to the league, there's skepticism about whether their popularity in the U.S. can match that of American-born stars. The example of players like Luka Doncic, who represents the Dallas Mavericks, one of the most iconic franchises, is mentioned as a potential key figure, with the idea that Doncic could inherit the role of the NBA's face based on his youth, skill, and global appeal. The text also touches on the role of personalities in the NBA, discussing how a player's charisma, like Magic Johnson's smile or Anthony Edwards' trash-talking and likable demeanor, contributes to their ability to become a cultural icon. Edwards, in particular, is praised for his combination of on-court prowess and off-court magnetism, suggesting that if he were to embrace the pressure of being the league's face, he could be unstoppable both on and off the court. In conclusion, the discussion of the next face of the NBA is multifaceted and deeply tied to both on-court performance and off-court marketability. While Anthony Edwards may shy away from the responsibilities of being the NBA's iconic figure, the debate continues about whether international players can break through the traditional boundaries of American-centric popularity. The text acknowledges that the landscape is evolving, and while there might be hurdles, the future could very well see foreign-born players becoming the dominant faces of the league. However, for now, it remains uncertain whether the U.S. will fully embrace a non-American star as the ultimate symbol of the NBA.